Welcome to my gardens again. Today's June 1st. Happy June. So, a lot of changes. The peonies are pretty much done blooming. I got a straggler here and there. The beard tongue's still in bloom, but the showcase is really the candy corn spirea. These are very vibrant this year. Some of my yarrows in bloom. The candy corn spireas are awesome. If you're looking for a shrub that brings a pop of color, that's it. I like the doozies. I got a couple doozies, spireas over there. I got some of the gold ones, but the candy corn spirea is definitely my favorite. A couple straggling iris too. More yarrow. I deadheaded the peonies all in here yesterday. Got caught in a torrential downpour and 30-mile-an-hour winds. So in the center, this whole new area, if you go back through my videos, you can see all the progress, and I'm pretty much done. I'll move things around as they grow. So I added 2 new David Austin roses today. So young Lycidas, more of a purplish pink. This is a 4-foot shrub rose. The carding mill I had already. That's more of a peach apricot color. And I added the Nye Bevan, which is a smaller shrub rose, which are like 3x3. So that'll do well there. But everything else, the peonies are done. Like I said, the other spirea, this is the gold spirea. So the blooms are a little bit more purplish than on the candy corn. I did add another bee balm. I got a couple of these. This is the electric neon. Try to keep the deer out of here. But now I found out the culprit of my Heliopsis conundrum. So these are the doozy spireas. So these are the blooms are a lot more red. So I'm finding my fall sunflowers are Heliopsis, and I had the yellow Heliopsis as well that got eaten to the ground. I found out that it's the rabbit, because we have a family of rabbits. The babies are cute, but they're starting to wear my patience being cute. But I figured, they can't eat much, but the problem is what they're doing is, like on my butterfly bush, butterfly weed actually, sorry, they're just chomping off and leaving it on the ground. So they'll bite it. Oh, I don't like it, and spit it out. I don't mind if they eat it. Just don't, spit it out. So like, here's the side effect. So it's a burning heart Heliopsis, or false sunflower. So they've eaten that one pretty much to the ground. So I put a frame to try to, if it was deer, but I don't think it was. I didn't see any hoof marks. And then they put a spigelia there to try to physically block, but it's going to be a game. My blue sea holly is turning blue. Such a great plant. It's that contrast of hard and soft. So I got the butterfly weed, the peony. It gives that definitely contrast. And I see a catbird following me around. He's been following me around for days now. So I did add 2 annuals. These are proven winners. Combo 1 and Combo 10. Because I just didn't know what to do here. Because the thyme, the woolly mother of thyme that had all died. And this has been the bane of my existence. Right here. Thousands of them. Thousands of maple seeds. If anyone wants maple trees, come to my garden. I literally have thousands of them. Oh, let's see if I can catch him. There he is. Yeah, I see you. So when I was putting together my strawberry tower, I looked up the behavior, the fluttering of their wings, and it's an excitement because they're bringing in worms for the babies. They live in the leftmost barberry. The arch is taking a beating. I need to deadhead it. With the severe winds, we've had torrential rains. A lot of things love it. The spirea is loving it. A lot of other things are just, taking a beating. See, here's another one. I find them all day. So the quick fire fab, this will be a good entry here. Gets enough sun, should do well here. It's starting to bud out. These get about 6 to 8 feet. The blackberries are getting big. I just fertilized them the other day, especially when it rained. Let it soak in. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, a couple more iris. Still pumping them out. You got even a new bud right there. So these 2 roses, I'm really forcing them to train. So it's a teasing Georgia in the back, the yellow one, and the Dublin Bay that I have strung across on both sides because I want the red one to go up the outer rims of the arch, and the yellow one to go up in the center and then meet in the top and then drape down. These are both 15, 20 footers. So some specs say 12 feet, but 12 feet's more than enough to fill this cage. More Spigelia. This is the mystery. I still don't remember planting these, but the fact that they're perfectly spaced out, I know I did it, but I don't remember planting them. But which is odd. I must have put them in the fall. So the blueberries are doing well. Let's see. They're getting there. We'll probably get birds will steal them on me, but that's kind of part of it. The cabbage is doing well. It's starting to roll. I don't use any pesticides or anything, so you got a couple bug bites here and there, but and then the broccoli, I need to cut that one. I'm waiting to see. These will be interesting to see how well these do. These Cape Fuchsias. My 9-bark, one of my favorites. I love the blooms on these. I might have to move the one in the back because it doesn't get enough sun. Doing well, the plant's healthy, but just doesn't get enough sun to bloom. Everything in the back looking good. Is a limelight hydrangea that I put in last week. My grape hollies, they're getting there. They'll start turning blue. They're about the size of a blueberry. They are edible. They're very tart. So I start cleaning up the mess back here of all the maple seeds, the whirligigs that fell, and then all the ones that were growing. And like I said, there's thousands, through the back here, because right above maple tree and on the sides maple tree. So I cleared out all through here, and I'm sure I'll find others growing. I find them in the lawn too. I don't know how that's even possible. So here's the other 9 bark. It's growing. It's got new growth. Looks healthy. Just not blooming. Could it be just the other plant's more mature, or just it's just not getting enough sun. So we'll see. I'll leave it. See how it does next season. It's not doing bad. So my hosta, these are the Empress Woos, are gonna bloom. I'm not a huge fan of the blooms on hosta, but I just love that plant and the coloration. So then here's another quick fire fab hydrangea I put in yesterday. So this should fill in really well in that spot. And I put in some more corbels or heuchera, depending on, these are the fun and games varieties. I'm leaving a space because I want one of the green ones, and I'll put one over there too. In the back is, the bugleweed is awesome. It's such an easy, just kind of just does its thing. The Jacob's Ladder's doing better this year. The silverwort, it's doing fine. The problem is, even when it rains, because what's above it, even torrential rains, this doesn't get a lot of water, so it becomes a problem. The Solomon Seal's doing well. That one came back. I'm surprised. I got a lot of little creeping Jenny I gotta rip out. And the oak leaf hydrangeas are starting to bloom. So these are doing really well. That one was supposed to be a ruby slipper one. Same thing, the one back there. But they're white. They were mismarked. And they were much smaller than these two. So they'll catch up. And these will get 5-6 feet and fill in this whole area. I'll probably have to move the hellebore. I got one there and one there. So I'll have to move those. The grapes are coming in. They're doing well. I come out and make sure they're tied up. The Incredible hydrangeas are doing great. They love all this rain, especially when you first put them in. So you can see little grapes. This one's much more advanced. This is a Concord one, and the crepe coral honeysuckle is almost at the top. Almost. The beauty of honeysuckle. It just kind of does its thing. It's a pretty color. I've seen a lot of birds over here. Saw a goldfinch the other day. Need to get more hummingbirds. Saw a couple so far this year, but that's it. That's June 1st update. I got a couple things I'm gonna tidy up. I need to edge. I need to finish cleaning up all these maple seeds because I want to mulch, and that's an all-day job. It was last year 32 yards of mulch, and I added another 400 square feet of garden. So let's see, I'll do quick. So my strawberry garden, because this is a 7-tier green stalk. I did a video on, and I have 3 different strawberries. So you have the Eversweet, you have the Ozarks, and I forgot the Dippity Doo is the bottom ones. We'll see which one I like better, which one grows better. They've been loving the rain since I put them in. So, update on the roses. The Seventh Heaven has new growth on it, little red parts, and the Lagerfeld is starting to come back. So hopefully nothing eats these again, and then once they get big enough, I'll put them back out in the gardens. The peppers are getting big. These are red peppers, so I'm waiting for them to turn. Cucumbers, got a bunch of them, getting big. And then the bathtub tomatoes. So that one's starting to turn, a little yellow. But the plants are doing well. The benefit I found doing it this way in the bathtub is the bottom 6-7 inches of the bathtub is pea gravel, so they're not sitting in, especially with all this rain. It does drain out like a bathtub, and here we go. Here's another one. But yeah, they're doing great. The misfits I got another bee balm. I got a yarrow. This is a candy corn spirea that I grew from a sprig, and now the center garden's mostly done. I'm going to start putting the thyme out inside the bricks, so it looks kind of like that. So I'll put it along in different spots, let it just do its thing. So, and then soon I'll do an update on all my dahlias. They're all coming back. I was a little worried about a couple of them, but so now we just wait. So, but yeah, it's getting there. I just had 4 people from the garden club I'm in came over today to take a look. It's always fun. I just saw one of the baby bunnies, so this will be a good test between the baby bunnies, the deer. I'm putting food out in their environment, so it's a game. I got to figure out how to win. I'm okay with them eating stuff. Just let's try not to eat some of my good stuff. But thanks again. Like the video, subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in comments. Watch my other videos. One of the things I'm looking for is suggestions for different types of videos. I'm open to go over anything. You can see I have a vast variety of plants. I have a lot of experience with most most of them over the many years of gardening. You know, and I can try to help out as much as I can. So, thanks for watching.